finally, we are back. Air horns, air horns, air horns. Yo, it's been a while. It's been a while. I apologize for the absence, the long hiatus. Sometimes you got to take a mental break. I had to take a mental break just to kind of get things in order, get my mind right, get my perspectives right, get a lot of things right. You go through a lot of things in life, and sometimes you got to just take a step back. And I felt for me that I needed to take a step back. Um, get everything correct, get myself back on track, get my perspectives right, and figure out what's going on, figure out what I want to do, all that different stuff that you need to take an inventory of yourself. So I've been taking an inventory of myself, and everything ain't totally where you want it to be, but sometimes you can take the necessary steps to get yourself back on track, get your mind back in the right frame of mind, things like that. So, like I said, I apologize for the hiatus, but we are back, black, better than ever. Um, Energy is back up. Feeling good, feeling better. I mean, still tired as hell, always tired, but got a different job. My commute is better. That made me feel better. I'm able to get get home at a decent hour. I need to actually go to the gym. I've been going to the gym, getting that right or whatever. So, like I said, I'm just getting everything back on track. And feeling better on that weight loss journey. I can see myself slimming down or whatever. So, just progressing in life. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I miss this. I miss, even though I was just starting out, I miss doing it. It feels weird to be doing it again, but we're gonna continue. We're gonna, you know, get back on track. A lot of things didn't happen. Shoot, I don't even remember half the stuff that's going on, but I do remember my boys, you know, Golden State winning that championship, NBA championship. So I gotta rep them today, with my gold blooded. You see the T-shirt, you know. But but yeah, that happened. Shoot, so much happened, so much stuff I wanted to talk about, but I just didn't feel up to it. I just didn't have the motivation. I didn't, just wasn't motivated to do anything. I was just trying to, you know, um, figure it all out. But can't talk about a lot of past stuff because, like I said, it's been there and it's gone. We got a short attention span, so there's no need to talk about half the stuff that's transpired, and I don't even remember half the stuff that's transpired. Um, but with a lot of times with taking care of yourself, sometimes they don't fit other people's narrative, other people's what they expect of you. Um, and so like I know for me, most of my life, I've basically tried to just take care of other people. Always try to be the person to reach out to my family and saying stuff like that, my brothers, sisters, or whatever, and be that person. But I've never gotten that back per se. Um, and even with my parents, like you be that person that's just always taking things, whether good or bad, or even the bad things. You take a lot of stuff and you just internalize it or whatever, and you don't never really say anything. You just continue to deal with it until things just boil over. And a lot of times people will tell you, oh, you need to take care of yourself. You need to do this, and another. Until it don't fit their, until you actually do it, and it don't fit their narrative of what you want, what they want you to do when they say take care of yourself, whatever. And it's like I have to do what's best for me and take care of myself the way I see fit. You know, um, and that's what I've been doing. And a lot of times when you start doing that, you become reserved and kind of assholeish a little bit. like you become the villain, pretty much, a lot of times, and I relate this to, what you call it, I relate this to Marvel movies or, comic books and stuff like that. Like, people see the villain, but they don't understand. A lot of times they don't even remember how they became a villain. They all have origin stories of how they became the way they became. And a lot of times people forget that because it's so old. It's so, and things continue to pile up until they became this person, and I think over the years and as older as I've gotten, you start to care less and less about things and about people's feelings and certain things, and it's like I don't really got time for that. I don't really have time to deal with those things anymore and try to be that person that you want me to be anymore. I'm just going to be the person I want to be and live the life that I want to live. And a lot of times I don't mesh well with people because when they was living their life and treating you however they treated you and did what they want, whatever they wanted to do and acted however they wanted to act, didn't matter how it affects you. It didn't matter. You could do your own thing. You could live your life or whatever. But the minute you start doing that and they perceive you to be wrong or, oh, you're shut off or you're acting like this and another, then it's a problem. But I'm like, you've been acting like this for ever, but the minute I start taking stock of myself and be like, you know what, I need to take care of myself. I need to really focus on myself and not focus on you all as much as I focused on, I'm saying, y'all or whatever this another, then it's a problem. A lot of times it end up being a problem. And so I think people need to understand what, especially like they always have that saying that always check on your strong friends because you never know what they going through and stuff like that. And that's true. Like, you're always a strong one. You're always the one looked at like, oh, I remember my father said something to me one time. He said, oh, I don't really worry about you. I don't really check on you because I know you good. Like, what? Like, that don't even make sense. Like, I can go through stuff. I can need help. I can, use somebody checking up on me and things like that. But to say that, that's almost, it feels like everybody else feels that way. Like, well, I don't really need to check up on you because, you all right, you straight. I don't need to, do anything or check up on you or see how your mental state is and see how you doing or whatever this and that because I know you good. You don't know that I'm good. How can you just assume that? And I think a lot of times people just assume that, and they don't know what you go through. They don't know the struggles you go through, and they don't know, different things. And same with, my brother hit me up and he sent me a text. He sent me a real good text or whatever. This and that. And there's one thing that he said in there that kind of confused me, or maybe it confused me because he had a certain view or perception of my life or whatever this and another. And I think a lot of times people from the outside in, they look at you, whether you're successful and, whatever this or more successful than them, which is relative. But they think that, oh, you had this or you were able to do this because blah, 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 blah. And they think I had this strong support system or whatever this and other, which I really didn't. The support system I really had was my best friends. And really it was actually two females, you know what I'm saying? That really was my support system or whatever. So, and me, going through, I went through a lot of stuff to get where I'm at. And shoot, the stuff I went through, it's like I just had this determination that once I got a little breakthrough, like I just wasn't going to, I wasn't going to stop. I wasn't going to go back. And I said on one of the recent pods before, like a lot of times I live like I'm still broke. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I don't want to go back to that or whatever. So that's how I live my life. But a lot of times when the perception is you're doing so well or whatever, this and other, people don't see all the stuff you went through beforehand. They just looking at the results, but they don't see or they don't know everything you actually went through, which is a lot. I know for me it's a lot, and stuff I still go through, and stuff I still have to navigate through, and stuff like that. But you know, I'm just like everybody else. I mean, I'm just like all my brothers and sisters. I go through stuff. I got childhood traumas and things you deal with, things we deal with, whatever this and other, and you know, um, you still try to navigate it. You still try to continue to go forward and do the best you can, and don't let it just totally weigh you down and get to you, whatever. So, um, but yeah, that's the only thing that kind of confused me with my brother's text or whatever. But other than that, like I really like this text. Really like what he said to me or whatever this and ever. But I love him. And his the conversation is that's between me and him. But it's just that one little piece that I took out of it, and it's like I don't think he really understand that. So if you're listening, bro, um, I just wanted to clarify that like my support system wasn't it was almost non-existent to a certain extent. Yep, to a certain extent. I didn't really have that support system that you might have thought I had. Um, but yeah, man. And like I said, you with becoming the quote unquote villain, I looked at that and as a kind of I'm rebranding my clothing line, my business or whatever, and that's the theme of the clothing brand is the villain. Like everybody loves a villain or whatever, and but yeah, that's going to be the key phrase of my clothing line is the villain, because that's how I be feeling sometimes. You become a villain after a while when you're not what people think you should be or how you should be acting or this and another, and when you start not really caring about a lot of things. And I think I've got to the point where I just want to focus on myself and not really care about. I mean, I care about people, but it's like I shouldn't be putting too much energy in other people because I haven't received that energy from people, and I try to do as best as I can, but it's like it's one of those things. It's like um, I've had to figure a lot of stuff out on my own, and a lot of times people need to do that. It's good to get help and stuff like that, but sometimes you got to figure stuff out on your own. You got to you know um, to figure out what's best for you and how you're going to navigate life and stuff like that. And that's what I'm trying to do right now is figure out how I'm going to navigate life, the rest of my life, and how I'm going to make myself happy, and how I'm going to achieve the things I want to achieve, and not be constrained about other people's expectations of me. You know, I can't be worried about other people's expectations of me and how I'm acting or whatever, because I've bottled in so much for so long. It's like I don't care. Like I don't care. I don't. It's you get to a point where you just stop caring about a lot of things, and you're so numb to so many things, and people will never get it. Like some people get it, but people will never get it. You get numb to certain things, and it's like sorry that I don't have those feelings anymore. But it took a long time to get here. It took a very long time to get here where you just numb to a lot of things. Um, and I always tell people like, when people self transition or whatever, and people like, well, what happened or that thing happened, and why did they choose to do that because of this thing happened? A lot of times it's not that one little thing. It's a multitude of things that just that just piled up, and that was like the last straw or whatever. And I think that's where I'm at as far as not self transitioning, but just at the point where you're just numb to everything, or where it's like I don't care anymore. I don't care about all this stuff. I'm just trying to make myself happy or whatever. And you get to the point where it's like, well, that little thing made you start doing this. No, it's just that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and it's like, you know what, I need to take a step back and um, focus on myself and not really care about some of the stuff that has been it's been going in that direction. It's really been going in that direction, and it was just like I'm at that point now. So, I hope that clarifies some things for some people or whatever, of where I'm at in my life. I'm just trying to, as Tracy Songz says, I'm just trying to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to be successful, trying to, um, get myself to where I want to be. And I can't do that worrying about old stuff and the constant dumb stuff that keep on happening or whatever. I just can't do it no more. I can't. Like, it's too much weight. It's too much weight, and I've been holding that weight has been on my shoulders, and it's like I've damn near pushed that shit off my shoulders, and it's like, it's starting to feel good and not having that weight. Like, it's not all gone, but it's like you got to do that for yourself. And I encourage a lot of people to just do that, like push that weight off your shoulders. It's hard to do because, like I said, people will look at you a certain way, but it is what it is. Like, they didn't care before, saying how you felt when they were doing whatever they was doing, and they was caring about themselves. So why should you care about how people think about you or what they think about you based on your decisions? Because you have to live your life. You have to live with yourself, and you have to be happy because they're going to live their life regardless of if you act and they want you to act, or if you're not. They're going to live their life, and they're going to continue to have whatever they have in their life, and nothing is going to change for you. So you have to change your circumstances and situations. So that's that, you know. But let's get into my my normal little segments here. We're gonna go into my rant of the week, and this one right here, it's almost like I'm tired of seeing it because it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. But we're gonna talk about Brittany Griner, and her, were they trying to get her released from custody over in Russia and things like that. And first of all, we as Americans are so arrogant. We are so arrogant that we think that we could do anything and our laws are everybody else's laws, and it don't work like that. It just don't work like that. Like, little things that happen over here are big things in other countries. It's just like in Thailand, you could throw trash on the ground and go to jail. You could spit on the ground and go to jail. Like, it sounds crazy, but that's their laws. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, she only had. No, it's not. She only had. It's she had, and that's their laws. So she broke it. It's like, and then it's bringing. I wouldn't even be going to Russia anyway because Russia is not for black people to begin with. But yeah, like I don't understand why people are ignorant to the fact of other countries' laws and how strict they are and how things operate. And it ain't just like people just like, oh, let her out of jail and it's just it. Like, they just think like they could just go ahead and just tell somebody, first a country that we ain't even vibing with, that you need to let her go. That ain't gonna happen. She did the wrong thing at the wrong time. It was just all bad timing, wrong country and bad timing. So it turned into a political thing. It's a political thing now. But then the bigger point, the bigger point I see, is that you have so many so many women talking about, and some men too, talking about some well, she didn't have to supplement her income, she wouldn't be over there or something. Like, she plays basketball for 5 months and make $230,000 a year. Um, I mean, that's more than me. So I don't feel no, and then they told me, oh, she should make more money. Why? Why she should make more money? I'm like, the very people that's saying this don't even support the WNBA. They don't watch. They don't know the players. They only know this player because it's on the news or whatever. They don't know anything about it. And it's crazy because women do not support women as much as they say they do. They do not support women. They only support them when a story is big. But other than that, women hate on women. They don't care. Women don't care about other women. Women would rather go, like, as far as sports, women would rather go watch male sports. Women do not watch other women's sports. They just don't. The WNBA loses money every year. The men's league supplements that league. The men try to draw attention to it. They tweet, they do whatever to try to draw attention to it. Some players then gave money to the league out of their own pocket or whatever, this and other. But I don't see a lot of women watching the WNBA. Matter of fact, we have a good stat here. We have a very good stat here. ESPN said their WNBA audience was majority male. And as it has been for years, 60% of the viewers were male and almost half were Black Americans. In all honesty, the game itself and their merchandise does warrant a heavy female base to cater to even the odds out. But women don't watch. Men majority watch the game. So you want them to get paid more. You talk about equal pay and this and that. You want them to get paid more. The men are already doing their job by watching, but you don't want to do your part in actually watching the games and supporting the games so they can get revenue. More people watching, more tickets being sold equals more pay. That's just how it works. But a lot of times I find that people just want to complain. Like a lot of these women, they just want to complain. Oh, we don't get paid as much as this and ever, but they don't want to put no action behind it. They don't want to put no. They just want somebody to do something. It's just like when they talk about the pay gap, all they do is talk about the 1% jobs that some women don't have. It's like you don't talk about all these other lower level jobs. You don't talk about the jobs that y'all don't want. You don't say why aren't enough women in construction? Why? Because you don't want to do that job. Like the argument is asinine. Those arguments always just it rubs me the wrong way because I'm like, you guys want what you want, but don't want to put no effort behind it. And Bill Burr had a good special, and he talked about that. It's like they won't support the WNBA. Who they sit there and say, oh, they need to make more money and this and that and other, but then they'll watch Ratchet TV, they'll watch the Housewives and this and that and other, and those women are rich. That's where the money going. You'd rather watch women fight each other over dumb, calculated storylines rather than support the people y'all complain about. Why they don't? You're making them rich, but these women you complain about they don't get enough money, and then it's always, well, if they had the facilities and if they what you mean they had the facilities? They playing in the same arenas. They playing in the same arenas as the male counterparts. So what are you talking about? Same facilities, the same this and that. They're playing in the same arenas. They're playing in the same. It's like the arguments. That's what. Those are dumb arguments when people don't know what they're talking about and don't even watch, because you don't know. You're just saying stuff, and it's just like you can use every excuse in the book or whatever. It's like, if you want these women to make more money, watch it. Watch the games. Support buy merchandise. Like women, a lot of women sit there. A lot of these women sit there, go to the games, try to get a ball player, and this and that. But why don't you support the women so they can make a decent living and well, not even a decent living because they making good money, but like a better living and be on the pay scale that you think they should have. So yeah, when you're talking about a lot of this stuff, man, people just a lot of these women just want to complain about stuff. But I don't know, man. I'm this subject, this topic has gotten way out of hand. Um, but I don't know. But I don't know, man. I'm tired of the topic, and I'm tired of ignorant people talking about the topic because they don't know what the hell they talking about. Um, but yeah, that's my rant for that's my rant for the week or whatever. Um, you know, it is what it is. But I mean, I hope the girl comes home or whatever. And actually, um, I think Elon Musk tweeted out. He's like, we got so many people in jail for weed here, but we're gonna try to get a person out of jail in a whole nother country. Make that make sense, and we're gonna give them a notorious killer or whatever. Like, make that make sense. There's so many people in jail here for weed, and we're gonna go and get her. But I want the girl to be home too. I mean the young lady to be home too. But I understand it's politics, and there's a lot of things you got to go through, and a lot of challenges and hurdles to go through. So I know it takes time. A lot of people's like, oh, she should have been home. Why? Why she should have been home? Do you know how this works? Do you know how it all works? Whatever. It's not just you snap your finger and it happens. But that's just me. You know, that's just me. Um, but I don't know. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. I'm gonna go to my Twitter post of the week. Uh, go to my Twitter post of the week. I had to find. I wasn't even prepared. I had to go and look through my screenshots to find something right quick. I I screenshotted this because a lot of times, men on Twitter, I don't think they a lot of times some men, they think they're gonna get some DMs or some girl. They get a lot of likes and stuff like that, especially when you pander to women. Like the pandering to women is a big thing, and it gets you likes, views, whatever, and it's just so terrible. And I picked this tweet out because people was roasting this dude. And I looked at the tweet, was like, yo, this doesn't even make any sense. So I'm gonna read it. And this dude got a check by his name, so I ain't even gonna say his name, but he got a check by his name. But I don't even know who the hell he is. Um, but so he's verified. So he say, prior to getting married, I hadn't slept in a bed for 5 years. I had my own apartment, but slept on the floor and had no furniture other than a couch and wobbly table. The last 10 years have taught me a valuable lesson: men build houses, women make homes. So all of that, I mean, majority of that just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. So prior to you getting married, right? He hadn't slept in a bed for 5 years. So you had an apartment. Um, you had an apartment. You chose to sleep on the floor. You obviously had money because you got married. So you can't sit there and say, "Oh, women make homes," because your dumbass didn't go out and buy a bed or buy furniture or whatever. Like, this is the dumbest post one of the dumbest posts I've ever seen. Because every day I go on Twitter, I think I couldn't get it. It can't get any more dumber than the last post. But every day I go on there, people prove me wrong. Like, Twitter is a crazy place. It it it's good for content. Twitter is good for content because, like, I saw so much stuff, and I don't think I totally forgot to even screenshot a lot of the stuff when I was on my hiatus. But yeah, man, this is the most dumbest thing I've ever seen. You slept on the floor and had no furniture because you chose to, not because you ain't had no money, not because you didn't know how to um fill up your apartment or whatever this and other. Like, you chose that. When I got my place, when I first got my place, I was what, 20? I think I first got my apartment when I was like 20 years old. I had a bed. I had a bed, my nigga. Like, what are you talking about? I have a bed. Now I might have some hand me down furniture, but I had a bed. Like, what do you like? It doesn't even make sense. Like, just because your dumbass couldn't go out and buy uh, um a bed and this and that and other, so you had no bed and you started dealing with a girl and she chose to marry you. Like, stop the cap. Like stop it, yo. Like, the girl walked in there, you had no bed, no this and that and other, and she chose to deal with you and marry you or whatever. Like, man, dudes be lying like hell, Like, y'all tell me if he lying or not, because this is all cap, and this is just to get likes or whatever. Like I said, I don't even know who this dude is. Like I said, he verified or whatever, but by the name, I don't know who the hell this is. But yeah, I saw that. I was like, this got to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Because, or he just looking for clout and some likes and stuff like that. Because this doesn't even make any sense. You had a wobbly table, no furniture, other than a couch, and you slept on the floor. Come on, cuz. But you met a girl and she dealt with you, and like, obviously you had some type of money or whatever, so you have money to go buy a bed or whatever. This and whatever. Like, stop it, Like, just be saying anything. We live in this day and age with like clout, pandering, whatever for likes has taken over the world. You know, it has definitely just taken over the world. And off this post, Twitter Twitter is crazy. Well, actually, just people in general. What I realize, and it goes hand in hand with that. Like, people make posts and they just want they want attention, and people don't want anybody to disagree with anything they say, and their usual comeback is, well, it's my page, you don't have to blah 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 blah. Well, you made a post on a site that's made for interaction. People go back and forth and comment and stuff like that. You made a post on a site that's made for interaction or whatever. Like, it doesn't make sense, but you just want everybody to agree with you. I remember I was following this chick and I used some of her content because her content was golden. And I basically followed her for that. But she did have a business. I was following her business page, but she put all her personal business out on her business page, what made no sense to me. But so I never really commented on any of her stuff, especially all the little rants and different things she used to do. And I mean, now I don't care. I never said the girl name, but I can say it now. She in the DMV area. She like the yarn whisperer or something like that. She crochet a lot of stuff, and she has some dope stuff. And I planned on buying something from her when the time came for me to, or occasion for me to buy something from her. And I sent one of her pieces to my homeboy because one of her pieces was dope or whatever. So it's just one of those things. Like, yeah, she was ratchet. She, whatever. But like, I still planned on buying something from her. And I'm not one of those people like, oh, I'm a buy and I never buy. It's like, when an event happens or occasion happens and I go back and I remember that you do this or I wanted this, I go and buy. That's the type of person I am. I buy from people. But and I never said that to her, but she made a post, and like I said, I never commented on her stuff. Only time I ever commented on her post when she was talking about business, and I made one or two comments about how people sometimes don't read when it comes to your business and what you put on your website and different things like that. But other than that, I never commented on any other thing she posted or whatever. So she posted something one time about she posted she said something to the fact that she always attract emotionally unavailable men and blah 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 blah, and different things like that. So I responded on a post, and I didn't even direct my response at her. I generalized it and said we. I said we because I didn't want to direct her, direct the comment at her. I said a lot of times we, myself included, we attract what we are at that moment. We might think we're something else, or we might think we have this mindset or whatever, this and other, and we don't. We attract what we are. We attract the energy that we're putting out or whatever. And it's something that we all need to, work on and be cognizant of, whatever. Nothing harsh, nothing mean, whatever, this and another. Like I said, it didn't directly target her. I put myself into it, and I just said we, and she blocked me. Cause I noticed at one point I was like, I ain't seeing these these blow ups anymore, or whatever. And I looked and I was like, she blocked me, and it's like those type of people are crazy. It's like they sit there, go and go and go and go, and somebody don't agree with something that they say, and they'll block everybody in the world. And this is like a business. This is her business page. She put all this stuff out on the business page, and it's crazy to me because it's like you might do excellent work, but your attitude sucks, and the energy you put out sucks. Because she was talking about her clients and things like that, and she was talking about some. She got mad at somebody that was typed something to her. She was like, "What made you use your sausage fingers and this and that?" And as she talking, I'm sitting there looking at her fingers, like, because she's not a small girl, she's not a big girl either. But I'm like, your fingers as big as hell too. Like, what are you like? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, how are you talking to somebody and we can clearly see your hands or whatever, and your shits look like Vienna sausages too. Like, I don't know. People are crazy. But I thought that I was like, people in the internet, like, if you don't want anybody commenting on your stuff, like when you post pictures, whatever, turn the comments off. Because if you post something in an open forum, people are going to comment, good or bad. So it's like I always told people, I was like, if I make a post, I'm mentally prepared for what can come after it because I made it. So good or bad, I'm mentally prepared for all the responses that come after it. Like, you have to be that, but people want to feel good and they don't want nobody challenge them on their views and different things like that. It's just, I don't know, man. People are weird. I don't know. I don't understand people, but like I say, the internet and Twitter is a crazy place, yo. So, but off that, I have a new segment called Hot Take, where I'll say something, or I'll have a take of my own that might be contrary to a popular opinion of most people, or just my take on it, whatever. Like, I might not do it every week, but whatever comes to mind. And I had this one for a while. Well, lately anyway, because I started watching a lot of her stuff, and my hot take is I kind of like Candace Owens. I know a lot of people don't like her, yo. I know a lot of people don't like her, but I kind of like her, yo. She's growing on me. I mean, she's cute. Like, I don't care what you say, no matter what how you view it. She's looking good. Like, yeah, she's starting to look good, but I mean, she was always a cute girl, a cute lady or whatever. But yeah, but even like with me, I don't have to agree with everything people say. And I don't agree with everything she says, but a lot of things she says, I do agree with if you actually listen to her. Now, some of the stuff she says, I think a lot of times with people, if they don't like one or two things you say, they just turn you off and they don't want to listen to nothing anymore. But if you listen to Candace Owens, like I like a lot of stuff she says, so I like Candace Owens. Like, my hot take, not a popular opinion, but that's my take. I know a lot of people probably like, but I mean, sorry, I like her. Like, I don't know why. Like I said, she's cute. I don't know. I be looking at her like, I think I saw a video or something. She was looking damn good. I was like, well, damn. Candace Owens doing the damn thing. Like, sheesh. But yeah, like I said, she has some opinions, just like everybody else in your life do. Like everybody in your life, you don't agree with everything they say. If you do, if you say you do, then you lying, and you don't agree with everything somebody says. Like, stop it. But mm, Candace Owens, you doing your thing, baby girl. But let's go into things I may or may not give two shits about. Um, so this just happened recently. Like what, maybe yesterday or today, maybe, I don't know. Can't remember when I saw it or whatever. But Neo, his wife, she wrote this long post and talking about he been cheating for 8 years or whatever, this and another. Like, you know, so she did all this online. And then he comes back and say, "Oh, we would like privacy and blah blah blah." Like, y'all did this online. Nobody asked for this. How you going to do everything online, but then ask for privacy? That doesn't make sense. Like, I be trying to figure out, like, oh, we actually respect our privacy and this and another. Well, damn it, you shouldn't went online with your privacy. Now people want to know. Now people want to be in your business. But I mean, personally, I don't care. I didn't even know Neil was married because I don't care. Like, I don't follow these celebrities like that. I follow stuff because I see it. I mean, I see stuff because it comes on your timeline, whatever. But I don't be giving two shits. Like, I see it and I don't really give two shits. So, like, now that I'm getting back into what I was doing, then I might care a little bit, but I don't be caring. Like, I might talk about it a little bit, but I don't care. And a lot of stuff I just scroll right over. And with this, like, I don't care. Like, I just think it's dumb that you're gonna put the business online when nobody was even thinking about this, and then say, "Oh, can you respect our privacy?" You don't have no privacy anymore. It's all out there now. So it is what it is. I'm moving along. So somebody in Illinois just won the $1 billion Mega Millions. Congratulations to them. I wish I would have won something. I could have won $5, $10, something. But I didn't. We're gonna keep it pushing. But I saw that people was mad at celebrities um because they were buying tickets, and I'm like, why are you mad at them? It's $1 billion. Like, who wouldn't want to win $1 billion? Like, why are you mad at somebody, at celebrities, for buying tickets? Like, yeah, they might be rich, but they're not rich. Like, they have money to buy. They're able to play the game just like you're able to play the game. Like, I don't understand that. So, are you mad at them for going into casinos? Like, shit doesn't even make any sense. So people get upset at the dumbest things. So, like I said, celebrities should. I mean, they show Drake all the time. I think he got a gambling problem too, but they show Drake all the time gambling. Should he not gamble because he's rich? Like, they'll show him winning $12 million. Well, they show him winning $12 million, but they don't show how much he lost before that or whatever. But yeah, that whole argument doesn't make sense and doesn't hold weight. Like, I don't understand why people be getting mad at the dumbest things. Like, people are very weird, and I just don't understand it. I really don't understand it. But I'll never understand people because people, they want to be upset at something. They get triggered by any daggone thing. Like, people just get triggered by too much of dumb stuff. They pay attention to celebrities, like I said, too much. But it is, like I said, again, shout out to that person who won. I know I'll go to work. I will still show up to work, and that 30 days later, whenever I get that check or whatever, this and whatever, I'll be out. I mean, eventually people will understand that something happened. that it's a reason why I'm going. I'll be like, after 30 days, I'm out. I'll be working until I get that check. But yeah, um, whatever. Then we have the Brooklyn Bishop who was robbed on live stream or whatever. One, I think this is it's all cap. Like, because if you look at what happened, like the dudes that didn't even the other dude or whatever, whoever that was, a deacon or whatever, like dude never moved. He never flinched. He never did anything when he saw the guys come in. So it's like, did y'all plan this? You know, because it looked like it was planned or whatever. But first it was 400,000, then it moved up to 1 million and stuff like that. Like this daggone how much you got robbed of keep on going up and up. But more comes out, more people are detective. More comes out like he's been behind on certain things or whatever this and other, and I don't know if it's true or not, and I don't really care. But because I'm like, why would you have all that jewelry and all that money on you at that time? Like $1 million worth of stuff. Why would you have all that right there and then if you wasn't trying to, do something shady or whatever, or get some type of insurance money or whatever this and other? Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to have that much money at a church service. Like it doesn't, you know. But hey, man, I think a lot of people in church are crooks to begin with, but that's a whole nother topic or whatever, and it's a controversial topic. Um, but yeah, like that was just dumb. You know, like I said, that dude, that bishop or whatever, not the bishop, but the deacon or whoever he was, he did not make a move at all. So it seemed to me like he knew what was going on. He knew the whole play, whatever this and other. It's like, how do you not make a move? How do you not, you don't get down, you don't lay down, you don't do anything. You just watch everything happen. And the guys that came in, they didn't even try to rob him. He could have stuff on him, so that was a come on, man. People that know, like it doesn't even make sense. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Now let's get into. I just go to my last topic. Khalees and Beyonce. Um, I think this is dumb too. And this always shows, like when stuff like this happen, this will show you who people like, and why they like certain things. Like nobody was thinking about Khalees, and nobody, but all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, she's been my favorite artist," or this and that. You weren't thinking about no goddamn Khalees. You didn't make no post about Khalees. Nobody was talking about Khalees or whatever. I like Khalees music back in the day or whatever this and that, but I haven't brought up Khalees in a long time or whatever. So, but you have people that don't like Beyonce, so that gives them an opportunity to say whatever they want to say about Beyonce, whatever. So Khalees, if you don't know, I mean, Khalees is mad that her song got sampled or whatever. And I had listened before I seen this. I had listened to the album or whatever, and I was so confused as to, well, what is she talking about? Because I didn't hear anything on the album with Khalees' voice or whatever on it. So I was so confused. Um, but they sampled like a drum pattern, I think, off a Milkshake or one of those songs. I don't know. The actual song was super short to begin with. It was just a sample, whatever. And Khalees was talking about. First of all, most people don't even know how music works, how things work. It's like if you want to sample something, like you don't call the artist that made it unless they own it. If they own it, then you call them or whatever. Other than that, you call whoever owns it. You call the people who handles that trust. You call whoever to get a sample clear, and they pay or whatever. And so Khalees didn't own none of it. So I'm sure Beyonce and her people call whoever they called. I mean, Pharrell was the one who made the damn beat. So it's like he got paid. The sample got cleared. It was what it was. So it's like, why do I need to call you? And then you're talking about all this. Oh, she's talking about women empowerment, but she's not for this. And it's like, I hate when people use certain things to get people on this side. People use a lot of trigger words. People use trigger words, and people use people's emotions to tap into other people, to tap into people's heartstrings, and that's why they'll go so hard and ride so hard for people. And it's like, especially when you have a lot of people that don't like said person to begin with or whatever. But I didn't think nothing was wrong. I don't think yeah, courtesy, or say, hey, I'm about to use this, whatever. But even if I call you and say, hey, I'm about to use this, and you say no, you can't stop me from doing it anyway. Like, like, what bearing do you have on me using that little 5-second drum sample on my song? Like, I don't understand it. And I credit you on the song. So I don't know. She may get paid, she may not. But I mean, it looks like she'll get paid off the what's the name. I mean, shouldn't you say thank you, because she didn't really have to, because from what it's saying, she don't have any rights on the song, but now you credit it on the song and you can get paid. So I don't get it or whatever, but that's my 2 cents or whatever. Anytime you say something like this or whatever, people are like, oh, you just a Beyonce lover, or you're this person lover, this and that. And it's like, well, even if I did like this person, how would that have any bearing on the truth or factual statements? People don't like factual statements. If they don't like somebody, facts don't mean nothing. Their feelings mean everything or whatever. But with this, it's all facts over feelings. It's like the sample got cleared by the right people. The right people got paid for it. End of story. Your beef was already with somebody else, not with that particular person. Your beef was with the people who made the song, who you made the song with. So direct that. She didn't even know of this or whatever, and she got triggered because somebody said a collaboration. Beyonce never said a collaboration. Nobody else said a collaboration. A fan said a collaboration, and she got triggered, and then brought other people into it. We ain't even gonna talk about what somebody said something about Rihanna, and she wanted to start going off, and it's like, all right, sit down, have 2 seats, like, just sit down. But speaking of Beyonce, I have maybe 2 or 3 Beyonce songs. I got maybe like 4 or 5 playlists of a bunch of songs. I may only have like 2 or 3 songs of Beyonce's in my whole catalog or whatever. And not say I don't have it in my iTunes as far as downloaded or whatever. I got stuff downloaded in there, but I don't just listen like that. And I think I've made myself clear on Beyonce. Like, I wasn't necessarily a fan, and then Halo came out, and that was like one of my favorite songs or whatever. But I just think she's a very talented artist, and we don't like artistry as much as we used to. We don't appreciate artistry as much as we used to. Like, Prince was perfectionist, artistry, everything. Michael Jackson was perfection, artistry. They gave you their all regardless of what they were doing. And people loved them. Like, Michael Jackson gave you a flawless show. Prince gave you a flawless show or whatever. And this day and age, she gives you that. And people don't appreciate it. People are like, oh, it's too polished. It's too perfect. And it's like, what are you talking about? You pay your money. I'm going to give you what you pay for. We accept, and I've said this before, we accept people being super late to shows, not giving us exactly what we paid for or whatever, and we just accept that. But when somebody gives you that, it's like, oh, they're just too perfect and this and that and other and all this other stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh. So I appreciate Beyonce because it's like, in a culture where people are just giving people mediocre stuff and half-ass stuff, she is a throwback to those type of people. She gives you everything everything you paid for. And that should be commended. Like, honestly, that should be commended. With this album, yeah, I know it's different or whatever. I'm a straight heterosexual man, and I can appreciate that album. Yeah, is some of it some fashion, Vogue, runway type music, whatever. That's another. It sure is. But guess what? The artistry of that whole album is flawless. The transitions of the album is flawless. You know what the album reminds me of? It reminds me of her sister's album, Solange, where you didn't even know where one song ended and one song began. And I like that Solange album too. But this album right here, and I've went back to that. I don't normally go back to a lot of women's albums. Hell, I don't even go back to a lot of men's albums. But I think Tiana Taylor's last album was the album that I constantly go back to and constantly go back to. But this album right here, like, I don't know what it's something about this album. I don't know. She the shit is good, yo. Is damn good, and we don't appreciate whole albums because people have been giving us trash for the longest time. We've been getting trash R&B, trash music, just trash albums for the longest time, and people don't understand a whole cohesive album anymore. She said this a long time ago. I think it's like 2012, 2013. She's like, in an interview, she's like, people don't make whole albums anymore. We don't appreciate whole albums because people don't really give us whole albums. People make like one or two hot songs and that's it, or whatever, and that's it. Like, even people be hyped about Drake. A lot of his whole albums be trash. And I went back to some of those albums and they are trash. I was like, but he's popular, so it is what it is. But like, um, this album right here, like, if you really just pay attention to art and artistry and just free your mind of everything else and just listen to it, the way she's playing with her voice and, you know, the different pitches, the different tones, rapping, everything. It's, I don't know, man. The shit is she did her thing on this one. I can really appreciate, as a, you know, as a man, I can really appreciate it. And I know everything is subjective. Everybody's not gonna like it. It ain't gonna be for everybody or whatever this and that. But me personally, I think it is a excellent album, and I was thoroughly impressed by it. And I've played it multiple times, and it's one of those joints where you can't shuffle around it because they all flow together. So you have to play it front to back, and you know, it's a, yeah. She did her thing. Like, I mean, it's an expensive damn album, but at least she gave people something that a lot of people are not giving people, you know, and that is a dope artistic album. And I think Questlove was like, this is her off the wall, and people went crazy. Oh, how can you compare it to Michael Jackson? He didn't say this is just like off the wall, and he said this is her off the wall. And when you go to Off the Wall album, it's a lot of dance tracks on that joint. It's a lot of, you know, disco tracks or whatever. This another. It was just, that's what it was. And it's like, when you listen to this, it's like, this is a very good album, yo. I ain't gonna try to convince y'all, but all I know is this is a very good album, you know. But yeah, man, I think that's all I got for today. You know, as I try to get back into the groove and get things popping again, you know, shake the rust off, and you know, hopefully you guys enjoy the dialogue and leave some comments. Let me know what y'all thinking. If y'all agree with me on some of the stuff, and if y'all don't agree with me, let me know. You know, everything is up for debate. Everything is, you know, just a topic for discussion. You know, so that's me. And like I said, my Warriors, they did their thing. You know, I usually have on my Demoji, and that's forever the sponsor, because we coming back strong. Like I said, come back strong. Everybody loves a villain. That is the slogan. That is the hashtag. That's the new brand. That's the new motto. Everybody loves a villain. Demoji clothing. There'll be a link for all this stuff, and then we have a new line coming out as well. I'm gonna see new products coming out. Not a new line, but new products coming out. Pretty soon, very soon. Got some things still in production. But like I said, like always, um, I would say my line or my hashtag is not my line, but I got it from somebody. Get your weight up, not your hate up. You know, strive to be the best person you can be. Don't hate on the next person. Congratulate the next person. Um, I want to congratulate my homie for getting her new job. Doing big things. I see you. Let me borrow $1. but um, but yeah, get your weight up, not your hate up. Congratulate people on their wins. It's not your time if you ain't got your win yet. Your time is coming. You got to put some work in, put some effort in, and keep on striving to be the best person you can be, and do the things that you need to do to win. Because you can't win just sitting back doing nothing. So, um, and yeah, you know, thank you guys for your time. That's all my time. Till the next time, we are out of here.